coordinators didn't know what I was going to do, and actually threw some situations with them. Red zone, a situation where we called hurricane. I think it was 3rd and 15 on the 37, and quarterback just needs to know, man, I don't need 15. Just get me in the position. This is the end of half also. Just get me in the position where I can kick a better field goal. And we did that, with the field goal team runs on the field, and we kick a field goal, so with 20 seconds, and we did that. Just a number of good situations our guys were dialed into. So, and then I thought it was a good, hard, long practice for these guys. Some of the things we did were live, start yard and goal line, was live, and our guys got after it at that time, and the other times we just studied. So I thought it was pretty good practice. A lot of things we got to continue to work on. Looking forward to tomorrow's practice. It's going to be a different type of deal tomorrow. Man, we keeping chopping wood. That's it. We got to keep chopping wood and keep getting better. Questions?
After watching the film from Saturday night, just kind of your thoughts from it and just what you want to see from the guys on Friday night.
Here's what my focus is, and this is every day for the most part, is, man, how do we get better? How do we see the things that we didn't do well in, and how do we continue to improve in that aspect? And I think I've already talked about it. I thought the offense was sloppy in some instances. The defense, I thought they did a really good job in that first half. They gave up 2 big plays, and everything else was good. But when you look at the totality of that first half, it was 7-6. And then the second half, I didn't think we played well defensively. So, but that's what today's practice was about. I mean, every time we come out, man, we try to improve. And I wish I can sit here and tell the guys that, we're going to be perfect on every game, perfect on every play, but that's just not going to happen. And when those things don't happen, how do you improve? And that's what today was about.
Not specifically, but the plan for the Eagles game, will some starters play in your mind?
Some starters won't play in this game. I won't get into the who's or whatnot, but, a good amount of starters won't play. It gives us a chance to look at some of our other young guys and give them plenty of playing time so we can evaluate them. Obviously, this is getting down to nut-cutting time as far as who's going to make the 53, then who other 69 guys we're going to have in totality. So it's important to go out there and really watch these guys and see how they operate, because we've got to give everybody a chance, and that's what we've been doing for the most part. So.
Offensively, would Fields, you think Fields and some of the other?
You said I'm not going to say who, but a good amount of starters won't play.
What did you think about getting a look at the defensive line today with Quinn back, Germaine back, and then Will up well?
So like I said, whoa. I mean, 11's out there, and he's rushing the pass, and he runs right by me. It was like just wind, like woof, like just goes by me. So, and then you see 95, and it felt good. I would just say that. It felt really good.
Is Sauce okay?
Say it again?
Is Sauce okay? We saw him come off the field in the end zone.
Yeah, I think he just got kicked in the leg. I think he's fine. Did
you have kind of a big picture question? When we ask the players about you, they always talk about how much they respect you as a former player.
Yeah.
So how do you tap into that without sort of being the back in my day guy?
Yeah. Well, here's what man, this game, and just overall, just the nature of this game has changed quite a bit. And I'll talk about my experiences from like what happened when I was playing, and then how it is now, and it's totally different. But the things that are not different are the principles of the game, and I think that's what some people just get like they don't understand that. Listen, I understand it's a different type of player. I mean, offensive systems are different, defensive systems are different, but the principle of blocking, tackling, and running, that has never changed, and it won't change. That's the nature of this game. It's a physical, violent sport. And I try to tell our guys, listen, that's what we're going to lay our hat on, is being able to do that and try to do it better than anybody else. Because if you look at the winning teams in this league, they lay their hat on that. They lay their hat on the principles of this game, and I want to be the same way. But obviously there are some differences.
Did you pick up any tips on using that background from Dan?
Say it one more time.
Any tips on using that background in your day-to-day?
Well, I was raised that way, and Dan is part of that tree that I was been with, so that's how we were raised. So it wasn't anything new for us, so, and it's part of our personality too. We believe in that, and that's just who I am.
Speaking of the physicality aspect, and obviously it's clear you guys want to run the ball.
Say it again.
Just speaking of that physicality aspect you're talking about, it's clear you guys want to run the ball. And
Yep.
that's going to be, very much part of your DNA. Obviously, it's very much a passing league. Is there any concern about your ability to go downfield and whatnot?
Who says it's a passing league?
Isn't it the passing league? Isn't that kind of...
The team that won the Super Bowl, what were they in passing? 29th.
Yeah.
What were they in running? First.
Defense, too, obviously, but...
Well, we talked about offense.
Do you have any? I mean, it's hard for us to see in preseason games and practice. It's, with the body of work is kind of nobody knows what you guys are doing, like today's situation and stuff. But where do you fall in terms of your confidence in getting the ball downfield for pass?
Very confident, because that's what practice is for. I mean, you have so many people that want to talk about a small amount of plays that these guys get to go out there and play, and then everything is falling down because we throw 6 passes. Then I mean, he's Johnny Unitas when we throw 4 passes. So it bothers me, and I laugh at it quite a bit. But the thing is, I understand it, because that's the noise that happens on the outside. That's how our guys can't really listen to. Listen, we go out here and we practice our ass off every day to be who we're going to be. And that's where my confidence lies, and what these guys do on the grass here. So, and listen, preseason means a lot. It do. But for the most part, man, we concentrate on what we do on the grass, because you get a ton of reps in that aspect.
Aaron, when you talk about the running game, we know what Brees can do, and he can be used a lot of ways. What have you seen from Braylon? And I think he might still be the youngest guy in the league. Like, do you ever think about that, what this guy could be?
It's crazy. A grown man's 240 pounds. That's the youngest guy in the league. And I think he's shown exactly who he can be when it comes to the running game. I can't just say off the top of my head like how many yards he's average per play, but I mean, I think it's up there for the most part. So listen, we have like 3 good running backs, and I keep saying that. And listen, they all have different skill sets that we're going to utilize. And that does not mean I'm trading Brees. Okay? Does not. So I'm going to say that right now. I just like having 3 good guys. Hell, I wish I had more. But we don't. But listen, yeah.
With the roster decisions you guys have to make in the next week, just not talking specific guys, but philosophically, how do you weigh the veteran guy, you kind of know what you're getting from him, or maybe the ceiling isn't high, versus the younger guy who probably going to be some inconsistencies, but the ceiling might be higher? How do you weigh those decisions?
Give me the best player.
But what if the best player right now?
Give me the best player, and the tape tells me everything I need to know. And then the character tells me everything I need to know. We wipe the slate clean. And we are a team that's going to get the best player. I don't care where you come from. I don't care how much money you make. I want the best player. To me, that's what the best teams are built off on.
How do you think Will and Germaine are going to complement each other? Because they have different skill sets.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think obviously we see that Will has a fastball that's like elite, in this league. Germaine is a bigger body, 265, 270 pounds. That's a true power player, but he does have speed also. And to me, a lot of times when you have that dynamic, you could have one guy from one side rush with power, all right, when he's running right through the tackle. Now the quarterback has to have an escape lane. You have a guy that has speed that can come from the backside and make a play. All right, you see that from a lot of teams that have that dynamic of, man, you have one guy with power, the other guy with speed. Man, that makes a hell of a rush for the most part. And then you have 2 guys interior that can just push the pocket. Creates a great rush. So I'm looking forward to seeing those guys work together. They do have 2 different skill sets, but they're 2 really good players we're going to utilize to the best of their ability.
Zach and Emmy.
When you guys hired Steve Wilks, we asked you about having somebody with that kind of experience on your staff. I'm curious what it's been like since you've gotten to work with him over these last 6 months.
It's been outstanding, man. Obviously, he's been around, and he's sat in my seat for a while. And just being able to run things by him, just being able to bounce things off of him has been really, really good. And there's not a lot of coaches in this league that have, a guy that was a head coach, next to him where you can, ask him questions and things like that. So, listen, I pick his brain as much as I can. He is very, very helpful. And I'm glad I got him. I'm glad he's on our team.
Last one.
I have another coordinator question with regard to Tanner. I'm just kind of curious what drew you to him initially, and about his offensive philosophy, how it fits, and if what he's tailoring to what you want to do here.
Yeah, well, if you look at his background, he's been with some really good coaches, and a lot of the coaches that he's been with, I agree with what they do and how they're built. Harbaugh, for example. So that attracted me to him, and then him being a part of what we built in Detroit all these years, where listen, we were a run-first team that was really good in play action. That was really good in drop-back pass too. So, but just all those things, man, just adds up to me when you look at his like who he's been around and how he was raised as far as this game is concerned. And you know what? He started from the bottom. And he worked his way up. And to me, that says something. It says something. Because I think that's how it should be. You have to do all the dirty work to get to where you need to get to, and you're not going to appreciate that about him.
Thanks, everybody.